Look, I get it. You've got 15 grand burning a hole in your pocket, and you want a sports car that actually makes you feel something. I spent weeks scouring the market and testing out these options to see what actually delivers. I bought the top 5 picks so you don't have to waste your money on a total lemon.
Product number 1. Top Gear Ultimate Supercars, 2019. When I first pulled this hardcover out of the box, the weight of it alone told me I was in for something special. It's got that high-gloss finish that looks killer on a coffee table. But once you crack it open, the photography is what really grabs you. I spent hours flipping through Jason Barlow's work, and the way they've captured the lines on these machines is incredible. Testing this out as a reference guide, I noticed it's not just about the old-school gas guzzlers. It's surprisingly up-to-date. I was reading through the sections on the new electric supercars, and the writers do a great job explaining how these things are hitting zero emissions without losing that soul-crushing speed. They even dive into the engineering behind the cars trying to crack that 300-mile-per-hour wall. It's written with that classic Top Gear wit, so it doesn't feel like a dry textbook. If you're the kind of person who wants to see where the industry is headed, from radical new designs to eye-popping price tags, this is the one you want sitting in your living room. It's the most modern look at the extreme side of the car world I found. It's a great way to fuel the dream while you're saving up for that project car in the garage. Moving into something with a bit more of a classic TV feel, I found another gem from the guys across the pond.
Product number 2. Top Gear Supercars, the world's fastest cars. Holding this international edition feels like holding a piece of motoring history. It's got that chunky, durable hardcover build that stands up to a lot of page turning. What I love about this one is the boots on the ground feel. It's not just stats, it's filled with first-hand accounts of what it's actually like to sit in the driver's seat of a V8 beast that snaps necks when you drive down the high street. I spent a lot of time digging into the expert analysis here. You've got the actual engineering breakdowns, but then you get these special reports from Clarkson, Hammond, and May that make you feel like you're right there in the studio with them. The highlight for me was the section where the Stig takes the big gun cars from the last few years and puts them through their paces to see who's actually the fastest. The photos are what I'd call car porn, just absolutely beautiful shots of exquisite machines. If you grew up watching the show and you want that specific brand of humor mixed with genuine technical stats, you're gonna love this. It captures that lottery win fantasy perfectly. It's less about the future and more about the raw power of the last decade. But if you're looking for something that covers a much wider range of cars, including stuff you might actually be able to afford, this next pick is a total shift in gear.
Product number 3. 365 sports cars you must drive. This one is a paperback, so it feels a bit more like a field guide I can toss in my bag. It's revised and updated as of 2020, and the concept is genius. One sports car for every day of the year. When I was going through this, I realized it's basically a bucket list for gearheads. It's not just the Ferraris and Lamborghinis, it covers the everyman cars like the Miata, MG, and Triumph. What really worked for me during my testing of this book was the spec boxes. Each car gets a profile that isn't just fluff, it's got the actual data you want to know. John Lamb and the guys from Road and Track really know their stuff, and it shows in the way they describe the passion these cars inspire. Whether it's an iconic Corvette or some weird oddball like a Crosley, the writing makes you want to go out and find one for sale immediately. This is the ultimate choice if you're actually looking to buy something under $15K. It puts those everyday legends right alongside the dream cars, making the whole hobby feel way more accessible. It poses the question, if you could drive anything for a year, what would it be? It's a fun, informative read that doesn't take itself too seriously. Now, if you're more of a history buff who wants to see how we got here in the first place, I've got something else.
Product number 4. Sports Car Chronicle. This is a massive 320-page hardcover that feels like a serious archive. When I opened it up, the first thing I noticed was the sheer volume of imagery. Over 1,000 photographs. It doesn't just show the cars, it shows the period advertising and the people who actually built the industry in America. It's a deep dive into 10 decades of automotive history where fun always came before function.
I spent a few evenings tracing the timeline from the early 1900s through the early 2000s. It's fascinating to see how the definition of a sports car changed over the years. The build quality of the book itself is solid, the kind of thing that'll last on a shelf for 20 years. The profiles on the designers and engineers give it a human element that a lot of other car books miss. It's less about the 0 to 60 times and more about the culture and the soul of the machines. If you're a fan of American automotive history and want to see the long-form story of how these cars evolved, this is your best bet. It's a great trip down memory lane and helps you appreciate the heritage of the cars we're looking at today. It's a bit older, being from 2004, but the history doesn't change. For a more greatest hits style approach, though, there's one more classic I had to check out.
Product number 5, 100 Greatest Sports Cars, 1997. Don't let the 1997 publish date fool you. This is a classic for a reason. I managed to snag a copy that was like new, and even without a dust jacket, the hardcover feels rugged. It's a straightforward, no-nonsense countdown of the best up until the late 90s. When I was flipping through it, it felt like a time capsule of what we considered the peak of performance back then. The layout is clean, and since it's from Consumer Guide, the evaluations feel very grounded. It's a must-have if you're into the 80s and 90s legends, the stuff that's currently becoming young-timers and exploding in value. I liked the directness of the profiles. It tells you exactly why a car made the list and what makes it special without a lot of unnecessary filler. It's a great reference for identifying those hidden gems from 20 or 30 years ago that might still be in your price range. If you're looking for a nostalgic look at the cars that defined the modern era, or if you're specifically hunting for a 90s project car, this book is a goldmine of info. It's simple, effective, and gets straight to the point. Whether you want the cutting edge of 2026 or the legends of the past, one of these 5 is going to be the perfect companion for your car search.